What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the Astonishing Iceman, issue number 1. A story that is written by Steve Orlando. The fall of X has begun. After the HELLFIRE Gala events, we have seen that mutant kind took one heck of a devastating blow from ORCHIS, with many Omega mutants being taken off the board to include Iceman. We're gonna find out exactly how Nimrod was able to do this. We're gonna figure out how Bobby is still around, because Bobby is technically dead. But somehow and some way, there is still an Iceman out here on Earth that is saving as many people as possible. But with ORCHIS stepping up their game, they're not just targeting people with the X gene anymore. They are going after people that experimented with experience. The question now remains, if they are targeting people that don't have the X gene, how long before they start targeting other people? People like the Inhumans. Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up in San Francisco. We have a bunch of ORCHIS robots that are coming in and they are tearing the place apart. They have detected an X gene, and this man is running for his life. Now this man has no X gene. He had taken experience, but he quit taking that a long time ago. Nonetheless, that isn't stopping these robots from attacking him, and these robots don't appear to care about any civilian casualties, as people run in all directions. Getting caught in the crossfire, this is where it begins to snow. With the snowfall, we have the arrival of the one, the only, the Astonishing Iceman. With Bobby showing up on site, he quickly takes care of some of these robots. And of course, the local civilians, they're upset that he's even here to begin with. Yeah, he may have just saved some of them, but at the end of the day, they are all blaming mutant kind for what is going on. With the guy who took experience on the run, they are chasing him down, bringing them right back to Bobby. Iceman wastes no time in freezing these robots in place. It doesn't take long for Iceman to rid all of this area of all of these robots. These drones were after mutants, but they're going for more than just mutants now. People that have taken experience, really recreational mutant gifts. But with the situation being handled, we see Bobby take off, and we are jumped over to the Bloom. And the Bloom is observing this entire situation as they get all the intel in. Everything seemed to be going relatively well until Iceman showed up. And our ORCHIS guy, he's really out here looking for a promotion. Bobby keeps on coming in and causing problems for them, so he has become their primary target. He is telling all of his agents that you are going to figure out a way to take him down, that he is going to get his promotion, and it will come after the death of Iceman. This is where we hop over to Antarctica. Bobby has his palace here. Getting inside, we see him drop down to the ground, telling himself that he just loves to push it. But being near death doesn't mean much if you're not living. Manifesting his snowman, helping him up to his feet. Bobby goes on to explain how ORCHIS almost got him at the HELLFIRE Gala. Nimrod had injected him with cellular napalm. It hurt like nothing ever before. It was so quick that the pain took over. He could barely think. His cells were boiling to nothing, and the only thing he could think of was that it sucked how Romeo had to watch this happen. And that moment, he truly thought that he was done. With resurrection gone, there was no hope for him coming back. But Romeo kept going. He went down to Antarctica. Everyone thought that Bobby was gone. Everyone but Romeo, his lighthouse, his empath. And the more Romeo connects to somebody, the more he feels for them, the more his power can affect them. And so there was just enough feeling out there, enough of Bobby feeling for him and him feeling for Bobby, enough for Romeo to grab hold of and pull Bobby back together. This is where he hears Romeo from the war room. Romeo telling him that this is his life. This is his stronghold made of ice that is him, and that he knows Bobby wants this to be like before. Being here in the palace, it is very easy for Romeo to keep Iceman together, but out there, he's got no anchor, because every single time he leaves, he pushes the clock. The truth is, the longer he is away from the palace, the clock begins, and it is only a matter of time before he falls apart, that he can't stay solid for long. As Romeo sits on this throne, this ice palace is a little bit of Bobby and every bit of his ice. The war room inside the palace made of Iceman ice. It's basically a satellite dish. An amplifier generates the empathic display. An empathic display, aka the Iceman icon. Bobby right now is more of a hologram. Basically, not psychic, but empathic. You feel it more than you see it. And this reacts to Bobby's emotional state no matter where he is in the world. Makes what's happening inside of Bobby visible to him on the outside. Helps him affect and aid his emotional state from afar, but not forever. When Bobby breaks down out there, it should break down in the palace. A status bar basically like a video game. And so what we're seeing is that Bobby isn't actually alive. Not in the sense that we imagine it. This is really a tribute to Romeo's inhuman power. His connection and love for Bobby has made it to where he can almost holographically, hard-like construct manifest Bobby back into the world. But if something happens to Romeo, then Bobby is gone for good, at least until Resurrection may ever come back to the board. And so that night at the Hellfire Gala, Iceman did die. He was just resurrected in a sense that we have never really seen before. But there is something bigger on the horizon. ORCHIS is planning something very big for Iceman. They are tackling Madeline Drake. They are going after Bobby's mother. They are doing this to lure Bobby in. And they have just the trick to do it. Now, hydrogen and oxygen. Bobby spent his whole life mastering these two elements. The question now remains, what will he do against the other 116 elements? He may be the god of ice, but what will he do against helium, the unfreezable man, and his elements of doom? And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely an interesting way of keeping Bobby around. Now everybody was like, no, there's no way, Bobby didn't die, there's a solo series, The Astonishing Iceman, that's coming out. But the truth is, Nimrod did kill Bobby. He burned him down to the cellular level. Now Bobby may be an Omega level mutant, but against Nimrod, he fell. Bobby fell, and he fell hard. If this comic is anything, it is a testament to the true power of our empath known as Romeo, the inhuman, the love to Bobby. Love is the only thing that is keeping Bobby alive. His connection with his empath is the only thing that gives him form. But while he has form, he is fighting as much as he can against ORCHIS. But there is a time limit. He can only be out in the world for so long. Here in the palace, Romeo can keep him in this form for as long as he can, for as long as he lives. And while they're using the palace as a kind of satellite dish, this allows Bobby to go out into the world and be who Bobby is. To be an X-Men, to be a savior, to be a hero. But that time in the world is limited. That if he doesn't make it back to this palace in a timely manner, the connection is severed, and Bobby is gone for good. But now that his mother is in jeopardy, ORCHIS is bringing out all the big guns to fight an Omega level like Iceman. Can he do this battle, save his mother, while also making it back in the palace before he is nothing at all? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, with everything going on with the Fall of X, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with the fall. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.